Morning, everyone. Welcome. My name is Menachem Creditor. It's my honor to serve as scholar in residence and rabbi for UJA Federation of New York. We bring you Torah and music, blessing, and community every weekday. We've been doing so since March 18th, 2020. Today it is Tuesday, February 25th, 2025. Almost 5 years of Torah every single morning, finding each other, to learn together, to grow together, to support each other. It's good to see you, Carrie and Meirav, Janice and Michelle, Arlene, Boker Tov. It's good to see you. Hi, Kate. Angela, I hope that you are well. Hi, Shush. Welcome, everyone. There's a lot to talk about. Today is broadcast 1248. It is day 508 of war. Rosa and Carl, Jonathan and Amy, Debbie, it's good to see you. Hi, Linda. Hi, Tobian. Nice to see you too. Bonnie Rachel, welcome. Debbie and Lydia, Boker Tov. Let's see who else is here. Chana sending love to Jerusalem. Deborah and Corinne, hope that you are well. All right. Everybody, let's take a breath. It's good to see all of you. Please, I know that we do this naturally, but some of us are newer to the group, to this community than others. Take a moment and let us know how you're doing. Let us know how you're doing. And if you'd like to share a little bit about who you are and where you're from, it is a beautiful way that we come to know each other. While this has been a digital platform the entire 5 years of our existence, it is also a place where we know things about each other, only the stuff we'd like to share, so that we know how we can support each other. It's part of what makes us a holy community. So let's take a breath, sing a blessing, learn some Torah. Here we go. Friends, it's so good to see you. A whole bunch of us, while I was playing, shared some things going on in their lives. Penny sending you a refuah shlema. Feel better soon. Rosa, your father is home after having surgery. Please God, full healing and strength. Also for you. Siona, your husband was sick, but Baruch Hashem went to urgent care on Sunday and is recovering well, thank God. If this friend, if this friends is a moment where you'd like to share something that's going on in your life, let us be your community. That's what we're here for. Learning Torah is what grounds us and keeps us stable, and being there for each other is what keeps us human. So let's keep doing that. I'm grateful, friends, for all the things that you've shared. Angela, what a blessing it is. You're sharing that you're a Jew by choice in Michigan and you're actually doing well. I understand sort of the Jewishness of that statement. I'm actually doing well. Let me just say what a blessing it is to have you here. Really. I'm so touched that you shared that. Thanks for being my sister. We have a lot to talk about. It's broadcast 1248. It's day 508 of war, and today is Oded Lifshitz's funeral. It's happening right now. The president of the state of Israel, Isaac Herzog, has just eulogized him And the language that he used about him is the best thing we can say about any human being, that Oded Zichrono Livracha, of blessed memory, was an Ohev Shalom Verodev Shalom, was a lover of peace who pursued peace. There's a lot to say about the tragedy of his death, his murder, his abduction. His wife had also been abducted and was released as part of the first arrangement in November of 2023. His grandson Daniel has been a good friend to so many of us. I've met him countless times in Tel Aviv at Hostage and Missing Families Forum headquarters. Met him at UJA because of the work that we've all done together. Today is a very sad day in their family, and I am sending them, I know you're joining with me in sending them significant comfort. There's a lot of comfort that's necessary, and we are in this not just for the long haul, we're in it for the rest of our lives, to be present and loving and healing and courageous together. So friends, with me, let's bless the memory of Oded, Zichrono Livracha, bless his family with comfort. And there's more to say about that, but let's just hold them. Part of the way that we connect as Jews and as a larger community of Jews and non-Jews, it's one of the best parts of this community too, that people have found each other. I find that to be among the greatest surprising things that this algorithm did 5 years ago during COVID, when we brought each other into the frame. You know, we created portals into each other's hearts and homes. Is we didn't know who was going to find us. We had no idea. 5 years later, that we began out of necessity, but this gift is necessary. So let me simply say thank you to all of you for being part of this community. That actually dovetails with a small teaching from this week's Parsha. Parsha Terumah that we're in this week is the beginning of the section of Exodus. It's a good third of the book that talks about the sanctuary, the Mishkan, the portable desert sanctuary, and how to construct it, deconstruct it, and some of the furniture that's in it, including, and I'll point to two different pieces here, including the kruvim, the cherubs, and we talked about them last week, that were both hammered out of the gold that covered the Ark of the Covenant. So if you imagine, there's a slab of gold, and you can deal with the strangeness of the Israelites carrying all this gold and silver and dolphin skins and blue and crimson yarns. Somehow they had all of that with them. We're not supposed to wonder about that per se, except to say, oh, cool stuff. They had all of this stuff with them, and they're invited, we'll talk about this tomorrow, to give of it for the construction of the holy. The gold slab that covered the Ark of the Covenant is called the Kaporet, like the word Yom Kippur. From it is hammered two images of angels whose wings are outstretched. So just realize, instead of it being soldered together, it's all made of the same stuff. One piece of gold, and the angels come from it. There's another piece of furniture that's constructed just like this, the menorah. And we use the word menorah actually incorrectly pretty often. Menorah is not what we use on Hanukkah. A menorah has 7 branches. In fact, it is the symbol of the state of Israel. That menorah is made of gold of one piece, just like the kaporet with the kruvim, with the angels. Hammered gold from which all of the branches emanate. And there's a lot written about this. I'd like to just think about it out loud with all of you, because from the common stuff that we are all made of, we branch out. But we do our best when we remember that we are from the same stuff. And yes, life and experience sometimes hammers us into shapes. But we are golden. We are from the same stuff. We're not soldered together. We aren't artificially joined. We are of the same stuff. And that is a message that we don't say enough in this world. Yesterday, some of us joined together at the St. Michael's the Archangel St. Michael's Ukrainian Orthodox Church in Yonkers, New York. I joined with Father Kirill Angelov, who's a dear friend, on the third anniversary of Russia's invasion of Ukraine. And it was one of these rare moments during these last 508 days where I've sat together with a sister or brother of a different faith and found myself remembering that we are made of the same stuff. It's very easy when we're in pain or in trauma to see ourselves as made of different stuff. But we are not. We are not, we are not, we are not. We are of the same stuff. The image of God is a universal human truth. That's the core concern of the beginning of the Torah. We start with a recognition that no one's ancestor is better than any others. It's not that no Jewish person's ancestor is better than any others. That's not where the Torah begins. The Torah doesn't begin with the tribe. The Torah begins with the essence of being human, which is, first of all, being of the earth. Adam is the name of the first human being, not Adam, but Adamah, earth. We are created of that same stuff, and all of us have the same ancestor, into whose nostril was breathed the breath of Hashem, the breath of God. And here we are, human beings. Now, in this moment, and I say a moment, but it's 508 straight days, if I'm not considering all of Jewish history, in this moment we find ourselves aching to be seen as fully human. A terrorist, in definition, a terrorist inherently does not see specific others as human, sees their truth as the only truth and those as enemy, as object. Well, we don't do that. We are absolutely called from the very beginning of the Torah to remember that all people, every human being, is inherently holy, created in the image of God. We are of the same stuff. The menorah is described in the text as a tree with roots, with branches, and each of the holders for the oil, which we do know about from the Hanukkah story, each of the branches of the oil is called petals and flowers. We are of the same stuff. We grow. We are of and from and must be for the earth. The best way to be, friends, is to remember that we have shared roots. As the tabernacle, the Mishkan, is constructed and deconstructed and brought throughout our desert wanderings, how important it is to imagine that this sacred furniture is being carried around as a visible reminder that you and I are of the same stuff, and the Holy of Holies, the center of our community, moves. Holiness is not only in one place. Holiness is where we set it down and where we set roots. But those roots are not only ours. The hardest part of this whole thing, really, is that it doesn't need to be like this. The othering and the pain, and speaking from within America right now, the xenophobia and the undiagnosed and ignored and glossed over racism and misogyny, Islamophobia, anti-Semitism, transphobia. All of these ills, they are social ills, are what Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel called a cancer of the eye. I look at another human being and I think that we are not the same. Well, that's my eye going wrong. My eyes, your eyes, our eyes are created in the image of God's own ability to see through all those outer layers. We are of the same stuff. The menorah was of the same stuff. Those angels, those two angels between which God's voice emanated, were made of the same stuff. We are made of the same stuff. I would bless us in these very difficult days, which are ongoing, to learn a lesson from Oded Lifshitz of blessed memory. He, in his spare time, as one of the founders of a kibbutz in the south of Israel, would drive to Gaza and bring Palestinians who needed medical care because their own leadership was not tending to them. He would drive them to hospitals in Israel. He was not alone. There were other peace activists in the south. Many of them were murdered. That doesn't make what they did anything less than righteous. We are called, friends, to find each other over and over and over again and rediscover that we are of the same stuff, and that the notion that you and I are not both manifestations of the divine is a cancer of the eye. It is a mistake. Say it in a positive way with me. Seeing God in the eyes of the other is rapturous. It reminds us we're not alone. It tells us we're connected to something vast, greater than any one of us. So as we pray, as we have for 508 days, for the return of the rest of the hostages, I invite you to not shift your focus. It's not what we do. And Jewish history has taught us that if we don't focus on our own people, no one will focus on our people. So that's a truth. But open our hearts even wider to accept the work that we have done as UJA all of our existence, all throughout these 508 days, of seeing all vulnerable people as all images of God worthy of love and care. We are of the same stuff. So, take a breath. Send your heart to the east with me. Kol hod balevav pnima nefesh Yehudi homiya ulfatei mizrach kadima ayin letzion Sophia on lo avda תקוותנו, התקווה בת שנות 2000, להיות עם חופשי בארצנו, ארץ ציון וירושלים, להיות עם חופשי בארצנו, Eretz Zion Virushalayim. Bring them home now. Am Yisrael Chai. See you tomorrow, my friends.